God talks about those who love him will keep his commands, and one of the simplest ways I've seen that in my life is just in listening to him and the small choices of obedience that make the world of a difference. God is not a God of chaos, but he has purpose. And so when he speaks something into our lives, there's a reason for that. And if we're not listening, if we're not engaged with the Spirit and his voice, then we could miss opportunities.
Just going to the Word and opening it up and letting him teach me about him and what it is to be a follower of Christ and how to grow closer to him and how to be a better servant of his. I just talk to him and I let him know what's on my mind, what I'm feeling that day, what I'm thinking that day, my doubts, my concerns, my worries, and I just lift those things up to him.
Obedience for me has a lot to do with discipline, and discipline to me has a lot to do with quiet times in prayer. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says to pray continuously, and it's not easy to be disciplined, but it's a worthwhile journey, and in the end it can open doors that wouldn't have been there before.
John 15:18, greater love is no one than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. That verse hits home because mainly I had to love everybody. I'll lay down my life for them and just taking the opportunities that God gives me every day to perform his duties and perform the love that I can share to everybody.
It is those small moments of obedience that God uses to change the world and to change people.
If we pursue them, it's going to be worthwhile and open doors for us to really glorify God. As a worship leader on the stage, I have a saying written on my guitar pedal, and it says "Live Worship." And for me, that reminds me that when I get off that stage, I need to show love to others and give thanks in all of my circumstances and just continuously be joyous, so that off the stage, I am reflecting God just as much as when I'm on there worshiping him through music. And that may sound like a difficult thing, but it can be as simple as taking somebody out to lunch and just listening to their problems, or picking something up when somebody drops something. It's more simple than we think it is, but it's quite important to just live worship.
One of the biggest ways that I show love to God through genuine acts of worship is, just by going and being alone with him somewhere, specifically out in nature, and just letting myself sit there and take in all the beauty that he's created just for us and worshiping him for those things.
I just worship God and just thank him for what he's given me and giving me the opportunity to go to college and giving me the opportunity to get my good grades and just giving me 2 feet to walk on. Whenever I worship him through music, I read those words off the screen, and I mean them. I don't just say them, I mean them. And through that, I can show the love for Christ, and he knows it.
One of the biggest ways God has taught me how to have an attitude of worship or a heart of worship that shows him how much I love him is just through having a heart of thankfulness and just really seeing how much he's loved me and what he's done for me on a daily basis. Just in the little things of being thankful and just seeing what God has done for me and for us and how much he loves us.